Hello, everybody. This is your 2021 candidate for governor of Virginia, Merle Rutledge. Just coming out from the Hampton, Virginia City Council meeting. Of course, I had a lot of people who I had to speak to, of course, people I ran into, so this is a little bit delayed. But I was trying to make sure I put the pictures up. I always give y'all behind the scenes. And right now, I'm on the road, actually. And I'm getting ready to actually head up to Northern Virginia. So now, on the other hand, I had to do this because this is so important for 2A supporters that are out there, that are really fighting and really trying to keep the message going that this is not over yet. And as you can see, that Governor Northam has been passing assault weapons bans and other gun control measures at alarming rate, which has alarmed so many people. But I told people there's a picture on my Facebook page, and I said there's a story behind that picture. Even though you see a bunch of empty seats, you see nobody sitting at where, of course, politicians sit at from the city council. And I said, I'm going to tell the story behind that picture because it's so important. Even the video that I ended up shooting is actually as important as it comes to 2A. I know in towns and counties, we have thousands of people showing up for 2A meetings. And I'm so fucking proud of y'all. I'm sorry to use that language because what I saw and who I met today, I'm so proud of. And it wasn't hundreds and hundreds of people out there or anything like that. It was actually less than 10 that showed up, but they showed up for the real reason why we are fighting, to have the right to defend ourselves and the right to bear arms. And there was Republicans, there was those who are independent leaning, but they care about their guns, and of course they care about the right to defend themselves as well as their family. It's so important and instrumental. And the thing I wanted to make sure that they knew, even though I showed up, I didn't see no other politicians show up, which seems like only time frame politicians decide to show up and speak on these issues is when it's like thousands of people out there and doing photo ops and all that crap. The fact is, if you're in this fight, you need to be there, whether there's hundreds of people out there or whether it is 5 people there, especially in areas that you claim you want to represent. Now, I'm the anti-politician. It means basically to me, it means I'm going to be real 100% all the damn time. That's why people are changing over and saying, who is Merle Rutledge? Who is this guy? And those who already know me, they're going to tell you, he's that way all the time. He doesn't pretend. He doesn't play the, microphone for fun. He's there because it's in his heart, it's in his soul, it's in his passion to leave Virginia, to end this road of blue magic, this chaos that we are having right now in Richmond. And I know everybody's waking up to a new bill being passed and then trying to figure out what are you going to do next. I'm trying to tell every single Republican, whether you support 2A, whether you support 1A, whether you're Republican, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're independent, this issue is too important because it's a moral issue. This is about where you're going to stand for your children, our children, when they grow up and the world that they are going to have left behind them. See, some people come out and want to be known and known for the wrong reasons. Some people are running for office right now, don't care about 2A. They just care about what 2A can get them. Some people are out there just trying to use it as a fundraiser. The fact is, this is more important than politics and political posturing. This is about your right to defend yourself and your family with whatever method that you choose, long as you law abiding. But now they don't care whether you are following the law. Now they care about making sure you know that you're vulnerable and that you're weak, and about making sure any time frame they want to take something from you, they can. Eminent domain was a part of that cycle as well. And I said, exactly, you work hard for your property, you work hard for your lifestyle, you should be able to keep it without government intrusion. But the fact is, they are not caring about whether you broke the law or not. Now they are caring about how we can touch you at any time frame we want to. And I'm telling all of those who was dejected a little bit or felt down because people didn't show up, the people who they expected to be there, it doesn't matter who is there. It matters as long as you are there. It matters as long as you are ready to put up that fight, because there are some people not built for it. There's some people who are not meant to be in your position. That's why they want leadership. They want leadership who ain't going to run every time things get hard. They don't want leadership that's going to cry each time frame things don't go their way. They want leadership that's going to stand there with them in the front line and willing to give it all up for what is right. I've been there in your shoes. I've been there walking by myself. I know the road. I know exactly what you've been through because I've been there. I've been there when everybody was against me. I've been there when there was trials and tribulations. I've been there when people said I couldn't and can't do it. I've been there with you when they said that you could not be represented. And the problem is, when people look at how hard that road is, how hard it is to get there, there's some people who quit. Politicians quit. Real people, real Virginians, real patriots don't quit, because that's exactly what happens on the battlefield. The soldiers are the ones who win the war. Now, I'm looking now at so many people who are understanding one by one as the message is starting to be received, as they get past the fact of whether you're a Democrat or Republican or independent. They are looking at the fact, are you in their best interests? They are now becoming aware and more awake than ever before. Now they are seeing how bills and more are passed and how it affects them before, not after. Now, I know some of y'all may be Democrats. Some of y'all may be independents, and some of y'all may be Republicans, but you're tired of business as usual. You're tired of voting in people and getting the same results. Now it's time to go ahead and make that change and start becoming more aware of your candidate, more of your representative, and vetting them out. Don't make it easy, make it hard. Find out where they are at when you need them. Find out where they stand at when you need them. Find out if they have a fundraiser while you up there talking on behalf of the citizens in which they claim to represent, because that's exactly what happened today. Now, 2A is not going to be easy to keep a hold of, because you got so many people scared, so many politicians scared of Richmond, and they worrying about their money men and lining their pockets, not representing the people. If they was representing the people and they was representing the soul of America, and they took their oath to uphold the laws of the United States Constitution, we wouldn't be having the mess that we are having today. It doesn't matter what happened on November the 5th, 2019. What is done is done. Now it's about how we move forward. Do we move forward and just allow this shit to happen, or do we cause chaos, raise hell, do what we have to do to make sure that they know this vote is going to be your last votes? Because in 2020, we're not sending up politicians anymore. We're sending up people who started from the ground up, who sat right across from us at our dinner table, who knows what we've been through. This isn't about political parties or affiliations. This is about the heart of America and what makes us who we are. Some people believe that we can change up the fabric of America and purge who we are just for personal interest that doesn't have nothing to do about your general welfare. Now, I want to know where people's hearts and souls is at. Now, you can go ahead and continue to walk that line with your establishment. Or you can say to yourself, no longer do I walk a line for my establishment. I walk a line for America. That's what's important. When I show up to these meetings, I'm learning from everybody about what they are going through. Not about what 5 or 6 people who call themselves chairmen or chairwomen or treasurer or whoever. Because I've seen it all before where people have bent over so much to the point people have lost focus and lost sight or lost any kind of interest in what they do and sit on the couch because they know America deserves better. But they are silent today because they feel like they are outnumbered. When Merle Rutledge got in this campaign, it said you're not outnumbered. You have somebody there that represents you. I understand those who are looking for the leadership that is silent today, and y'all need them badly. You don't know what all is coming for you, but you know it's changing with each and every vote, each and every bill passed, and you're saying to yourself, is that person in Richmond that you sent up there? Is he listening? Is he taking your phone call? Is he actually getting your email? And what I'm trying to tell you right now, if they ain't responding back, why would you respond to them with your vote? And that's what America is all about. It's about you. That's what's important to Merle Rutledge. Yes, I'm a Republican. I'm proud to be a Republican, but I also represent everybody else that's out there because I've been there. I've been in your shoes where I thought I had somebody who spoke for us. I've been in your shoes where somebody looked like me and I voted for them just because they looked like me. I've been in your shoes where I said I was a Democrat and didn't even know why I was a Democrat because the people who I kept sending up there to Washington, D.C., Richmond, was doing the same thing that I thought the other side did. After a while, you have to start realizing that people care more about their self than they do you. And you are the one who has to pay the expense of bad policies and bad representatives. And what I say to all of those frustrated right now, America will always have your back. Merle Rutledge will always have your back. But the thing is, you have to decide for yourself. Do you want to step up to this fight? It ain't about us older timers. It's about our children and the world that they want to live in. You want them to have better schools. You want them to have good morals and values moving forward. You want to see them grow and prosper and not die before their time. You want to see them look up to you as you being a fighter for them. That's what I remember about my parents and my ancestors and those who came before me, just like you do. Whether you're black, white, Hispanic, your story started here in America. It started here with your right to bear arms. It started here with your right to protest. It started here at the bridge at Selma. It started here in America. And America was built by everybody, not just one person, not one race, not one group. It took us all working together. And we can't decide to erase that history for somebody else's own interest by billionaires that buy in our elections, by outsiders who are brought here to rig our elections. If you're from Virginia, you should be voting for a Virginia governor. If you're from here and built it here, you should be able to be proud to say you built it here. Too bad for so many others are learning and growing up to forget about the hard work it took for you to be here to make sure they got to the point of today. Some things ain't going to be fixed by policies. Some things have to be fixed by the heart. Now, if I could go all over Virginia, everywhere else, in places friendly or those hostile to me, and I can make them see and believe, you can too. Some things are not meant to be easy because the hard work makes you know what foundation actually meant. Although successful, nobody's mad about success. But don't feel like you who is living in public housing or those who don't have everything that others have should be limited. You should have the same right to be as successful as you want to be. That's what I'm telling America. That's what I'm telling Virginia. That's why I'm putting this extra energy out there on the road. That's why I go back home and look at my children just like you look at your children. And they look at you and proud of you. Proud to know that you're out there doing something to make their lives better. And the thing is, we need to be able to protect them. We need to be able to protect them from evil that exists with us every single day. But the thing is, so many people are making short-term decisions and not looking at the long-term consequence. It's so easy to say that others represent your best interest, but they don't live with you. They don't go to work with you. They don't see the struggles that you go through based off of their policies. But you do. But don't wait until it's too late, until it's already happening and you were solid for when you could have spoken out. Now they're going after your right to speak out. Look at this, America. Is this the country that you remember? Is this the country that every day when you see your family and go to cookouts and family reunions, what do you remember? You remember that family bond, and it became stronger and stronger through every single trials and tribulations, and remembering family always had your back. But what happens if you take that away? It's so much we don't even recognize because we so focused and selfish about our own self and our own pity. But remember, trouble don't last always. That's the reason why we have God. That's the reason why we have faith. That's because it gets us through those times that we sometimes feel like everything is dropping down on our back and hammering us and putting us through everything that says give up. And that's what the devil wants you to do. That's why it's so important that people don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about them politicians that's only there when it benefits them. Look around at the people that is with you and going through the same thing that you are. That needs to be the ones that you send to Richmond. Those are the ones you send to D.C. That's why America is so messed up. We've just been basically falling for the same trap and tricks of used car salesmen for the longest kind of time, and they've been selling you a lemon. I just want people to know, when you see me, when you see all of those people on my page, you see the military, you see the veterans, you see those wearing gun save lives, you see those practicing free speech, and those out there who you never heard about, but that you are finding out about. And those are the ones who are putting that sacrifice in. Those are the ones we should be thanking every day. Those soldiers that been out there fighting, whether they've been overseas or here in America. Because it doesn't matter just because you're in uniform. Sometimes the fight is there in plain clothes. That's why I wear boots and jeans and let people know I'm just like you. I've been there. I know how the justice system works. I know what it looks like for a government to become corrupt. I've seen it applied to me. And now the world is seeing one by one, each and every one of you, that you're asking for stability in a time of ever-changing times. That's why faith is so important. That's why God and country is so important. That's why brotherhood and sisterhood is so important. And it doesn't have to be somebody who looks like you. You can have family that betray you, but America won't. But if you decide to go ahead and put your bias and prejudice towards those who don't look like you or those in a different party or group as you, and don't come to common ground and understand each other's side, we all end up being played the fool. So as I could be up late night, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, why can't a politician be up at the same time frame answering your questions? But they can send their surrogates to go ahead and speak to you, but you want to speak to them. I'm so proud of Brittany Smith of Hampton GOP. I'm proud of all the 2A supporters. I'm proud of Jill McDaniel, who makes my flyers at the last minute to say where I'm going to be at. I'm proud of my wife, who has been through more than enough with this campaign. I'm proud of my family that looks up to me and says, Daddy, keep doing what you're doing because we need you. Everybody's saying that we need you. But I tell them I need you too. That's why family is so important. That's why I treat Virginia like family. That's why I go to a school and greet the janitor, because I understand you are the reason why the schools look so good. But also they tell me what's so bad because they had to clean up the mess. And that's how I feel. I feel like the janitor cleaning up the mess left behind by politicians. Now, it's a new attitude for me. And I tell everybody, just because you're used to the old way of business is no longer business as usual, because I'm a leader, not a sheep. But I'm also a leader that recognizes the problem, that doesn't run from the problem, doesn't pick up the phone and say, I'll call you back and never make the call back. Or the person who ends up getting the email and acts like he never read it. That's what you get normally when you ask even the best person who poured out the most money to somebody. It's always somebody else pouring in more money to them. That's why you don't have confidence in Richmond, because it's a swamp. DC, swamp. Merle, Rutledge, and those other soldiers that's out there that you may have never heard about are what is left for America to stay America. Those who ain't controlled by special interests. Those who ain't controlled by the establishment. Those who ain't controlled by everything except for what their constituents want. Anybody can talk tough and talk hard. But if they can only show up with a bandwagon and the media and all that other stuff to show up, they don't belong in that position no more. I'm not talking nice or mincing words. If you're a politician and I don't see the work, I don't see the effort, the hard way. I had somebody tell me yesterday at the Virginia Beach City Council meeting, he said millennials no longer believe in God. Millennials no longer believe in our history. They believe in none that exists. And I told him, the devil is always a liar. And as long as I'm living and breathing, I'm going to keep it 100 with Virginia, because Virginia has kept it 100 with me. There's not one thing I regret about my road to get to where I'm at. None of you in Virginia. I don't care what your past is. Everybody got a past. It made you who you are today and stronger, because now you're a patriot that represents America and everything we love about it. The story of how we became broken one by one and how good God is to rise us up each and every day and give us another day while you living and breathing. Each day, make it your history. Make it better for you and your children, not just yourself. And then that's when you start seeing everything around you get better. When you say, I demand better. So it doesn't matter who you vote for in November 2020 or 2021. Just know I deserve better. My family deserves better. And I make the best choice that makes me want to believe and know will represent me. So stop voting for politicians, whether they are Democrat, Republican, or independent. Vote for those who is 100 with you and 100 for representing Virginia and everybody in it. God bless America. God bless Virginia. God bless your family and your loved ones and all those sick and shut in. Because if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't have the opportunity to make America great again over and over again. And when you go home and look at your children, even if you haven't said it, you say, I love you, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure your future comes as a priority. And I wish all of y'all a good night, and God bless.